This is Moonstalker at that place for walkthroughs with Lillith of Dragon Age Origins.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Good. I don't want you falling apart again.
Don't worry. So long as we're looking at taking down that bastard Loghain, I won't be losing any sleep at night. And thanks for the warm concern. For a moment there, I thought you might actually have cared.
Oh, Alistair, you get so upset. Here, have a present.
I could get used to this, you know. Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow! Something on your mind?
Has anyone ever told you how handsome you are?
Not unless they were asking me for a favor. Well, there was that one time in Denerim, but those women were not like you. Why? Is this your way of telling me you think I'm handsome?
My lips are sealed.
Oh, I get it. I'll get it out of you yet. So, is this the part where I get to say the same?
Not unless you don't think so.
Oh, I think so. I'll just spring it on you when it's a surprise.
Yes, Lilith is named after the original succubi, or succubus, from the Old Hebrew Bible. She was the first wife of Adam, but she abandoned Adam and seduced, I think he was an archangel, Samael.
Yes?
I have some questions.
Of course.
So, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Don't be an idiot.
Ah, my secret is out. Now at last I can stop pretending. Pardon the drooling.
At least your idiocy is endearing.
Well, thankfully someone thinks so. Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
What skills might those be?
Well, it wasn't an easy life, you know. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the Chantry type. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
You think this is better than being a Templar?
Oh, I suppose the Chantry life is good enough for some. Here, we have the chance to fight against the Blight. To actually do some good instead of sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have...
Don't start crying again, please.
Yes, you're right. I should be angry for what happened to him, not sad. I shouldn't forget what Loghain did. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
He's going to be one hard son of a gun when Lilith gets done with him.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Did you actually kill them all?
Me? No, I never did any of the killing, until later. And even then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary.
I do.
The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
I agree completely.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
How about an Alistair doll?
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
Still neutral. Surely not. Minor magic. Moderate magic. Yes, what I thought.
I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
That does sound like something you do.
Oh? I truly doubt that children would be worth the effort. They are filthy, smelly things full of tears and snot and trouble. That said, I cannot speak for the tastes of my mother. She has, after all, lived a very lengthy time in the wilds and done many things I know nothing of. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into human form as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
You spend a lot of time as an animal.
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do other animals think of you when you've changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell, and thus requires a mage's talents. Indeed, you could learn the spells required, if I cared to teach you.
I've never heard of magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved.
I'm shocked that you think so, being a mage of the circle as you were. But perhaps you felt a little like a caged bird as well, caught within that dark tower.
More like a caged bat.
I thought so.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities sound quite useful.
A most practical opinion. Far more so than any man I have spoken to. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us. A fine gift. You have my thanks. Interesting. 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 I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to become shape changers?
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
I should have known you'd be a selfish bitch.
I trust I am supposed to be shocked and dismayed by your language. Do not make me laugh. I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to be shape changers?
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Perhaps you better find the desire then.
Perhaps you should dispense with your threats. I will pass on my mother's knowledge if and when it suits me. I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to become
Possibly,
shape changers?
if I had the desire to. I do not.
And why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
Well.
Yes?
I'd like to discuss something private.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
So how'd you like to join me in my tent?
Your tent. Ah, I know most guys would probably leap at the chance to be with you, but I don't know if I'm ready for that. It's a big step. I guess that must make me sound like an idiot. I mean, turn down an incredible woman like you, I'd have to be.
Oh, I think it's cute.
Just what every man wants to hear. I guess I was just raised not to take this sort of thing lightly. I hope it hasn't put you off. All right, so, now that I've handled that with my usual deft brilliance, time to move on. And take a cold bath, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Indeed.
We're coming here to see the mages, right? Oh, great. They just love me. Yes?
I'd like to discuss something private.
Well, we're not exactly alone. What did you have in mind?
Kiss him.
Oh, you want to... right now? Well, who am I to refuse?
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass.
Why? I need to get to the tower.
No one gets to the tower. No one. The tower is off limits to all.
I'm a mage. Let me in.
No, now go away.
I have documents that compel the Circle to help me.
Yes? Oh, a Grey Warden seal. Aha! So you're claiming to be one of those. You know, I have some documents too. They say I'm the Queen of Antiva. What do you think of that?
My documents are actually real.
Kill some Darkspawn. Come on, let's see some righteous Grey Wardening.
Don't be ridiculous.
Aha! Oh, I knew it. I bet you can't even sense them. A real Grey Warden is supposed to be able to sense Darkspawn.
I can't sense any now because there aren't any here.
Well, that's good, I suppose. Wouldn't want Darkspawn smeared across the landscape. I hear their blood is black. Is that true? You'd know if you were a Grey Warden.
No, it's not black, but it burns you when it touches you.
Oh, pleasant, eh? Good thing I don't have to kill them, then. Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go.
I warn you, my patience is wearing thin.
Is that bad? Look, I'm, just trying to do my job. I'll take you right now, just like you wanted.
Yes, please do.
Come along, I suppose.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray.
What's going on here?
I don't have time to entertain visitors. Well, look who's back. A proper Grey Warden now, are we? Glad you're not dead.
You don't mean that.
Perhaps. Now we're dealing with a situation that doesn't involve you, Grey Warden.
As a Grey Warden, I have a right to know what's happening.
I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. Abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. We were too complacent. First Jowan, now this. Don't think I've forgotten your role in Jowan's escape.
You can't still be annoyed by that.
A rogue blood mage is not an annoyance. Do you not realize the damage he might have already caused? I can only hope that someday Jowan gets what he deserves. But right now I have other pressing concerns.
Sounds like the Templars haven't been doing their job.
My men did what they could, but it wasn't enough. They took us by surprise. We were prepared for 1 or 2 abominations, not the horde that fell upon us.
Why don't you rally your men and kill them all?
I will destroy the tower, raze it to the ground. But I cannot risk more of my men. The doors remain shut, and they will protect us for now.
Has nothing emerged yet?
No. And perhaps the Maker smiles on us. We do not mean for the doors to stay closed forever. Everything in the tower must be eliminated. I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
How can you think of annulling the entire circle?
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again.
The mages are not defenseless. Some must still live.
If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find nothing.
I'll look for them.
I assure you, an abomination is a force to be reckoned with, and you will face more than one.
Abominations can't stand against me.
If you succeed, I would owe you much, enough that I would pledge my Templars to your cause. Without word from Denerim, I must determine our course. Surely destroying Darkspawn is a worthy goal.
We have an agreement then.
A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, then the circle is lost and must be destroyed. May Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
Actually, I'm just here for some stuff.
I wish this were over. We're running low on supplies, and I don't know how much longer we'll last.
You have supplies for sale?
Yes. Would you like to trade?
All right. Staff of the Magister Lord. Andrew's Blessing. Comb, backpack.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
Let's see what you have. Okay, this is defensive, and this is sustained.
As you desire. Lovely.
There we go.
About time a warden showed Send his regard.
Fools! Begin the onslaught. Oh, there! Should be
Take that!
It's annoying. Does that hurt?
New tactic. Bite. Ankles.
You okay, Alistair?
Of course.
I'm not giving up.
Why is the battle still going on?
I'm going to take a nap. I hope that's okay.
What now?
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well ask us how to get to the moon.
He said that all the Redcliffe knights were looking for him. I demand an audience with the representative. I don't get it.
Very well.
You insult all of Ferelden. King Loghain will not suffer the...
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I have important business in Orzammar.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I have urgent need to speak with your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
A blight is coming. They must unite for Ferelden.
Wait, who are you to speak for Ferelden? You're no messenger to Loghain, that's for certain.
Thank the ancestors.
I am a Grey Warden. This treaty obliges Orzammar to aid us.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Piss off, dog breath.
I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
All right.
And so I shall. Another vessel I see. Why do they bother? Of course.
Did you get Owie, Alistair?
Very well.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
A Trost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mix.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps, you would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's Wow, there are a lot of... What was I saying?
Let me have a look at my shop, I hope.
Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium.
Sure you do.
I do wonder, is it permissible for two Grey Wardens to... Oh, what is the word I search for?
Caboodle?
Fraternize.
What's wrong with fraternizing?
It seems most undisciplined for an organization that claims it will do whatever is necessary to end the Darkspawn threat.
One thing has nothing to do with the other.
Oh no? And what if a Grey Warden was forced to choose between the Warden he loved and ending the Blight? What should his choice be?
That is a ridiculous question.
And I have my answer. Most kind of you. Are we descending into the underground? The thought of so much rock over one's head is disquieting.
Actually, we're going back out in the open, Morgan.
Blight ourselves. Well, all right.
So tell me something, Morrigan. Did you live there in that forest your entire life?
I left it on occasion, but I always returned. Why? Is that so strange? It was my home.
But it was just you and your mother there. No one else.
One death.
I suppose he's just going off to do some shopping. Grud, who did you bring? That's naughty.
Puppy!
Where are your mother and father?
Puppy!
Beat it. No, you can't keep him.
What? No mention of dessert? Surely this is a miracle.
Dwarven crafts.
I recognize you. From Ostagar. And trust his blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend. And good King Cailan. I demand satisfaction, sir.
Satisfaction?
An uncommon traitor deserves no common death. We will meet on the field of honor, and my blade shall see justice done. Meet me in the back alley behind the Nod Noble Tavern. There we will duel.
Sounds like fun. If you insist on dying, you'll get your duel.
Make peace with the Maker, sir. These are your last moments. Are you ready? I am no savage. I would not take advantage of you.
All I see is a fool. Everyone get him.
You coward!
My, they're all
Wipe them out! You will learn to fear me!
It's a hat! How
Oh, that's funny. Thanks for the mace, stupid. Oh yeah, it's headed this way.
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Show me your wares, zombie.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods. Now what do I do?
Are you asking me to find your mule?
Oh, no. I sent my elf to do that.
What?
I mean, I sent my helper, Taran. Nice fellow, that. Taran. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service.
A merchant out here.
I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you'd consider helping a fellow out?
What do you need?
Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could?
How much do you want for it?
Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I paid too much to simply throw it away.
Yeah, I think I could use it.
Just as well. You'll find the golem in a village named Honleith, in the hinterlands. Here, I'll mark it on your map. I've heard it might be dangerous there with all the Darkspawn about, but I'll wager that's not an issue for someone like you. Just hold up the rod and say Dulaf Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works.
Sounds good.
Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
Yes, it is.
As you desire. And so I shall. Well, all right.
Get out of my circle. Huh. What's wrong? Is it a little hot? You guys don't like that, do you? That's a shame. You don't want to keep beating on me with your swords?
Of course.
There's a good choke point right there.
What a shame.
I agree. It is a shame.
Sensing more Darkspawn.
Guess you're it.
Well, all right. Well, all right. Of course.
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us?
I'm looking for whoever owned that statue outside.
The statue outside? Why would... Oh, I think I see. You bought the control rod, didn't you?
Yes.
You came here looking for Shale.
Yes.
That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance!
Is it dead? It's just standing out there.
It's deactivated, I think. I don't really know. It's been like that ever since the day my father died. My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Arls of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais, and what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and Shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake Shale up, well, it's yours now.
Then I should go.
Wait! I need your help. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you?
Why would I want to risk myself?
You risked yourself to get here, didn't you? It's just a little further. That shouldn't be difficult for someone like you.
Why did you not go after her yourself? How do you know if she's even alive?
I don't, it's true. I'm terrified that something's happened to her and she's lying in there, injured. I can't leave here until I know for certain. Surely you can understand that.
Why don't you go look for her? Alright, I'll see if I can
You
find
will?
her.
Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
Well, all right. Oh, is that right?
That was getting a little close, wasn't it, people?
What do you mean you've never climbed a tree? Oh, look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people.
I'm not here to play games.
Oh, well. I suppose Kitty and I will just have fun on our own till someone more interesting comes along. Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting.
Alright, Alistair, tie her up, throw her over your shoulder, let's take her back to her dad. Wait a minute. The cat finds me distracting?
Kitty's clever. She says you want to take me back to my father, but I'm not going. She would be lonely.
Go get him.
I would not suggest leaving in such hostile company anyhow, Amalia. Look how they act.
The cat talks.
Of course, silly.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
So, what are you really?
I am a cat, really. Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger.
A stranger who finds you very interesting.
Oh, did you hear that, Amalia? I have another admirer.
That's because you're wonderful, Kitty.
I have been bound to this chamber for decades, cut off from all contact. It has been maddening. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever.
Don't you think you'll notice something out of place?
Mortals often allow themselves to be blinded by hope.
That's
They
your
see
demons.
what they wish to see. If the Father hopes to see his Amalia alive and unharmed, perhaps he will.
Persuade, lie. I'll free you, and you can have the girl.
Thank you. You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free!
Yeah.
I've always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
Sure.
And so I shall. Of course. And so I shall.
I like it when Kitty sings to me.
As you desire. And so I shall. Well,
Father doesn't
all right.
like cats, but he never met Kitty.
And so I shall. Of course. Well, all right.
Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful?
Well, all right. Well, all right.
Kitty is my best friend.
Come on.
I was thinking about the sun, silly.
Well, all right. Of course. Lovely.
Tell me a story.
Well, all right.
Yes. I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us.
I said I'd free you. I didn't say I'd let you live.
Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine!
Oh. Go get him, Grid.
Kitty! You're scaring me! I won't let you inside me! I won't!
Hiya.
And how's that? Oh my! I am your death. I cannot be defeated.
Oh, they're dead already? Oh. 20 strength. Aww. 20 strength. That's a long ways off. Oh well.
It's your time. There you go. Oh, I see. Tear them apart. Back. Rock me and you shall pay. How lovely.
You did it! You freed her! Thank you so much!
I'm sorry I ran away, Daddy. I was so scared.
It's all right, Butterfly. You're safe now. All the bad creatures are gone. You'll need a phrase to activate Shale. It's Doolan Han. I wouldn't want the thing, but it's obvious you can handle yourself just fine. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
No problem. Continue.
What we are looking at is a golem. It would appear it is defunct, though there may be a way to revive it yet.
Doolan Harn.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And of course, it is another mage. That is what it is. Yes? Yes. Just my luck.
Just my luck?
Oh, I suppose it will fuss over me like the last mage once did. Poke and prod and cluck its little tongue. I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
And the villagers had no idea they were being watched. Creepy.
Then one wonders that you wouldn't be grateful to the one who allowed you to stretch your legs, Gollum.
Another mage, I see. Charming. I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead?
No, not all of them.
Some got away, then. How unfortunate.
Did you watch the attack?
Not as much as it would think. There was running and screaming, and then days and days of watching the Darkspawn prowl around. I would never have thought there could be something less interesting than the villagers, but there it was. Well, go on then. Out with it. What is its command?
Why are you calling me it?
Entrenched sense of perversity. The last one who held that damnable rod used to call me Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must.
It certainly does, right in its hand.
I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something.
All right. Attack Alistair.
Hey!
And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is... broken?
Well, you're not just walking away.
Aren't I? Without a control rod, I can do whatever I wish. It is simply... what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me?
I can think of many uses for a personal golem.
May I ask what sorts of things it gets up to for which I could be so potentially useful?
Killing Darkspawn, primarily.
The Darkspawn are an evil that must be destroyed, it's true. Though not as evil as the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village.
Are you going to keep calling me it?
Yes, very likely.
And how do I know you can be trusted?
I have no idea. How does it trust anything else without a control rod?
Good point.
They haven't killed it yet. I consider this a good sign.
You're welcome to come with me, I guess.
Are you certain you want to bring that thing with us? It could be dangerous and large.
Thank you for stating the completely obvious.
You're welcome. It's good to have a purpose, you know.
I will follow it about, then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way.
If you're following, then we're going.
I'm coming. Do not worry.
This is Moonstalker at that place for walkthroughs with Lillith of Dragon Age Origins. Catch you on the flip side.